lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the pit complete. That is crazy
Side by side,
stuff.
Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
From the dirigible wafting in a Belgium sky, we look down at Circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, which this afternoon plays host to round 3 of 12 on the Heusinkveld Engineering MX-5 World Tour Season 13 schedule. For the first time in nearly 2 seasons, there's a new name at the top of the leaderboard, and you'll be able to see all the action as they battle for overlay supremacy live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Good midden dog, and welcome to GSC's Countdown to the Green. We have an abbreviated version today as some technical gremlins got a late start in here. So probably no Streamy Award today for me, Bill Soups on, and my partner, the Australian sage, Richard Losper. Doing an amazing job getting us actually to stream this is Joe Peak working around those gremlins. And of course, we have camera locations provided by Dougie Beard. Richard, today we are at Spa.
Yes, indeed, and we'll have to keep it pretty short. The Spa track is well known to everybody, 4.3 miles, 7 kilometers, one of the most iconic tracks you will ever hope to race on. These guys will be doing it all on these 20 turns or 21 turns, depending on whether you class the bus stop as 2 turns or not. Bill, we don't have much time. The qualifying nearly completed, so back to you.
Absolutely. It's too bad because we had worked out here at GSRC this great video with dancing girls and choreography and a whole musical score, none of which you're going to get to see. But what we can show you are the point standings. Now, last time anyone was leading in the MX-5 World Tour other than Sonny Ketchen, it seemed like I had a full head of hair, and the 8-track tapes were the state of the art. Truth be told, Patrick Fliss is winless and only leads Ketchen because of bonus points, thanks to the miles per incident bonus points that they allow. Now, bonus points are cute until they decide the championship. Then when they do that, suddenly the uproar starts and they become ugly. But right now, it's Ketchen and Nunn who have a win apiece that sit in second and third. Welcome back to the graphic overlay. Travis Swanky there. His 4th place result at VIR jumps him up 7 spots and puts him in 4th. The Buckeye Bullet, Deuce Allen, is a spot, has 5th place secured there. The rookie of the season so far has been Carlos Escalazara, and he is 2 points from jumping over to the left side of the graphic. The California kid continues to do what he does. Cy Andra, Amadeo de Brito, and Stephen Van Opsтрel round out the graphic, all with red arrows. And we can update you that Brito and Carlos Torres have to start from pit lane today due to penalties. Let's go to the grid. Sonny Ketchen and Sergio Mora make up row 1, Errol Num and Robert Hartley behind them. Deuce Allen and Patrick Fliss in row 3. Row 4, Yasuta Shiraiwa in the 7th position. 8th position, Ashley Beard, Cy Andra, and Jason Cooper, newcomer, row 5. Richard?
Then we've got David Hampson and newcomer Ricardo Margarito, Rafael Drazik and Tom Rache. Then we got Brian Holmes, Michael Van Dijk or Michelle Van Dijk, Carlos Calazaro down in 17th, 18th place, Joop Willemsen, 19th and 20th, Eric Garcia, Jordi Fike as they get ready to start.
Newcomer Junitas Marcon and Tuan Tran in the 11th row, Diego Amiera and Robert Velinga, Mark King and Jeroen Ursum, John Kuhneman and Bastian Hausman in 27th and 28th. Joe McDonald and Eric Coleman make up row 15.
And we go to row 16 real quick. Frederick Svensson and Kieran Mant. Then Giuseppe Iannucci way back row 17 with Travis Schwenke, who's not going to take part. Mika Esias, Carlos Torres. And last, of course, is Amadeo de Brito due to his penalty.
All right, we've got it done. We are waiting for the pole sitter, Sonny Ketchen, to actually get out there and grid right now. We appreciate him taking his time, allowing us to get through the entire grid. Bill Soups on, Richard Losper here. We're catching our breath. Joe Peak has got us online. Welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the MX-5 World Tour. This is round number 3 from Spa. Sonny Ketchen, the Australian, on the pole right next to the Portuguese driver Sergio Mora. Errol Num and Robert Hartley making up row 2. The cars begin to harmonize. And we're just about to get underway. So right now, make sure that you gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn, and leading the stampede down into the first corner is going to be Sonny Ketchen. Now, we should be noted here that this is not where the race is going to end. They start on the other side of La Source. The finish line is going to be right before the hairpin, and right now they bunch up. Look at this battle going on here, making a move on the outside. That is the driver. That's Aero Numb now challenging for the lead as they go 3 wide.
And we are on the first lap here, heading up the Camel Straight for the very first time, 3 wide into the first set of corners there. Looks like it's Sergio Muro with Sonny Ketchen behind him going through as the rest of them come streaming through into the first set of corners. Now they'll go down to Ravage with slight downhill, and then they take the right-hander. Looks all clean at the moment. Bill just having that high look, that high shot there. Everybody seems to be on the track, and everybody is still going.
Moore and Ketchen trying to behave. Behind them, it is Numb, Hartley, Allen, Fliss, and Ashley Beard back there in that kind of light color car. Look from that long Dougie Beard camera angles. They come at you, that swarm of cars. So far, Richard has nailed it. Everybody is clean so far. Everybody's still on the track. We can report that Torres and De Brito have exited the pits. They are well behind, but safe.
Yeah, everybody very safe. We're still on lap number 1. Looking at the front there, we see that Aero Numb is trying to, he's fallen back just a little bit off Sonny Ketchen and Sergio Mura. Sonny is in second place, not first place, as he was on pole, but now he's in second place following Sergio Mura. I think he'll be happy about that. Aero Numb not unhappy to be within a second of those two. Then we've got Robert Hartley, who was fastest in the practice, or close to fastest in the practice. I think Sonny Ketchen ended up being fast in the practice. Then we got John Deuce Allen. So all the amazing drivers of the MX-5 World Tour right up the front there, Bill.
All right, here they come to the bus stop for the first time. They are single file. Now here comes the Australian looking on the inside of Mora. Is he going to make that pass? He does not. He sits back 2 by 2 behind him. That's Numb on the inside there as they work their way towards the start-finish line. That's
Hartley
Robert Hartley. They go side by side. Numb is going to have the preferred position as they go into La Source. That's a battle for 3rd and 4th. Then behind them, on the inside, that's Cy Ander trying to get to the inside of Deuce Allen. Allen surrenders that position. Is he going to lose another one back there to Ashley Beard?
Fliss.
I don't think so.
Fliss. That was Flisco.
That's Fliss.
Bill.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Fliss. Allen's going to be able to fend that off.
Yeah, he backed out, and we have John Deuce Allen now sitting up there in 5th place with Fliss behind him in 6th place. Now he's under challenge. Fliss 2 wide through oh, they touch as they head up onto Camel. They went through Eau Rouge side by side, and they still side by side, and looks like there's a third one joining them. That's the 95 Foxfoot car of Ashley Beard, 3 wide, heading towards turn number 3. Not what you want to see, Bill.
To get that sorted out, we can report that Trossett got into the back of Tom Rathy very hard. Both cars continue, one of the only contacts we've seen so far. Meanwhile, the 5-car train out in front starts to pull away, led by Ketchen, Mora, Numb, Hartley, and Deuce Allen. But the battle that has really been hot is the battle. We look there, that battle for 3rd, looking at Aero Numb right now. The battle back at 5th position, 6th position has been really exciting. That's Fliss, Andrew, Beard, Cooper in that battle.
Yes, and I tell you what, going up 3 wide into Lake Coombe, that's not what you want to be doing. And Ashley Beard backed out of it and left it up to Cy Andra, who's really taking it. Cy Andra now coming up side by side with Patrick Fliss once again as they head down into the right-hander. And I tell you what, these guys are racing hard. Up front, they are single file build. They know what it takes to race on this long draft track. But behind them, it's anybody's position at the moment.
The gap from Deuce Allen in 5th place back to the leader of the second pack, Cy Ander, is about 1.4 seconds. There's a 5-car battle up front, a 4-car battle behind them. Then we get back, we can look at 10th position real quick. This is Michel Van Dyke. He's being challenged right now by Yasuta Shiraiwa. This is a battle for the top 10 position. These two guys continue to fight it out. They are by themselves. Watching
and we head
Go
now
ahead.
towards the bus stop. Here they go. 4 cars all in a row. Jason Cooper, I'm driving with. He's the last car in that second train. Up ahead of him, Ashley Beard. They go single file into the bus stop. Up ahead of them, they go now. There's John
Let's look
Allen
at that. Go back to
up
Van
ahead.
Dyke. He got turned by the Japanese driver Shiraiwa as they were going through the bus stop. This was a battle for 10th position. And after that, I think it all bunched up behind him.
Oh dear,
Yeah, a big mess. It was Escalazar involved in it, Hampson, Holmes, and Amieda all involved in that incident behind him. Amieda was able to get around.
Yep, there's a big mess. Let's get the replay going. We're having a look at Scalasara at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to stay on this live. We'll go back and get that in a minute. Look at this going on right now. What happened was when the two cars got in front there, got together, then everybody had to dive for space. It was like an octopus trying to put on his socks. You couldn't really tell what was going on. Things were going everywhere, but they managed to get through it, and this battle continues. My gosh, look at this pinata full of bees.
Yeah, we got to go up to the front here. There's action aplenty as we just had Sonny Kanchan being overtaken there by John Deuce Allen, who moved up into second place momentarily. Sonny Kanchan coming back at John Deuce Allen as they go through Rivage at the moment. Sonny Kanchan back into second place. Our leader is, of course, none other than Sergio Mura. A nice back out there from, and we see Sonny Kanchan way off track there on the right hand side, but now he pulls it back into line, and John Allen just following him, Aaron Num in fourth place at the moment.
So we talked about that 5-car battle that was being chased by the 4-car train. Well, now they are all together, nose to tail, engine to caboose, 9 cars racing for the lead as they work right now lap number 3 of 16.
Yeah, that was that challenge there by John Allen on Sonny Kanchan slowed up the front pack, and now, as you said, Bill, Patrick Fliss, Cy Andra, and also Ashley Beard have joined in, and Jason Cooper, newcomer Jason Cooper, up to 9th place, and then Tom Raja up to 10th place. Some really great driving, but Tom Raja's got some damage to his car, so he was caught up in some of that accident that happened, so he's off the pack. But there you are, Bill, 9 cars in the lead pack, and they nose to tail.
Right now, it's the Cooper caboose back there in 9th position, looking at Ashley Beard. We talked about, Richard was talking about Ratchie right now. Let's go back to 10th spot. Ratchie in a battle. This is Ricardo Margarita. As they head down into the bus stop, Margarita's going to have the preferred position, at least in the first bus stop. He does. He's going to negotiate that. Let's give 10th position to Margarita. Rathi moves into 11th. Yasira Shiraiya in 11th position. 12th position, I apologize. Let's go back a little farther, Director. Let's go all the way back to like 15th position, back here where this mess is. Look at this. There's Amadea out in front. Marcona in there. Iannucci on the outside there, challenging on the inside. This is Rafael Drazik. Battling going on everywhere, Richard. Too much to cover.
Yep, and we sadly have to report that Brian Holmes looks as if he's gone into the pits. He's out of the race. Michelle Van Dyke and Jordi Fike are in the pits as well with damage due to that accident. And have a look there, Bill. Let's just go to Mika Eshouse. Look how far back Mika Eshouse is. I didn't even know he was in this race.
Mika Eshouse, we're looking. What position is he running in, Richard? Now I'll hunt him down as well.
Mika Eshouse is in, let me see where I'm looking for him. He's in 23rd position. And now we actually up to 14th place right now.
Running in 14th now, leading ahead of, here's a couple guys to keep an eye on as we look at that. That's Eshouse and Iannucci. Iannucci is going to be very fast. Giuseppe, always a good driver.
He nearly spun the car. Eshouse, I'm looking at going into Lake Coombe there. He's pushing as hard as he can. Mika Eshouse, one of the top runners. And of course, Giuseppe Iannucci, who started way back, also one of the very best MX-5 drivers around at the moment. And these guys are in 13th and 14th, well, in fact, 14th and 15th place at the moment. But they're catching up. They are really pushing as hard as they can, Bill.
This is a group that has Marcone in it as well. Amieda in this one back there. Drazik fighting with Eric Garcia, the California kid, racing back there with that purple and black machine of Tuan Tran. That's a battle for 19th position. Fighting going on everywhere. Carlos Escalazara in 21st position. Now look at this. You can see Escalazara trying to get on the inside of Tran. Tran back there in the purple and black machine. Escalazara gets that position up into the top 20. Now here comes Jupe Vilmanson on the outside of Tran, trying to make that work as they go through into Fanja here. My
And
gosh,
we've got
racing
a
everywhere.
three-car battle with David Amson on Ricardo Margarita, and of course Tom Raji. Tom Raji managed to move past Margarita, so this battle is a little way off the main pack here, but battles all over the racetrack at the moment. And there's a battle for the lead we're hearing now, so let's go there, Bill.
Well, they've decided to have Sonny Canchin lead a little bit right now. As they head down into the bus stop, Canchin takes a defensive line. Behind him is that gray car the teal car of Mora. Allen right behind him, and then Errol Num running in 4th position. The train continues, though. 9 cars all the way back to the caboose. That is still Jason Cooper. Just ahead of Cooper, Ashley Beard and Patrick Fliss. Fliss, the winner last time, Richard, of the race that we just saw from road, where was that one at? VIR, running back there in 7th.
Yeah, exactly. And now we see Fliss on Hartley gets the position. Fliss on the inside there going through La Source. That's the turn number 1, I guess we could call it. And now they head down towards Eau Rouge. I see Hartley in the number 52 machine thinking about trying into Eau Rouge to attack Fliss, but he decides wisely, in my opinion, to just stay behind him. These guys have work to do to catch up with the front pack, Bill.
Yeah, Fliss right now talking about it, giving a little instructions to saying, let's go and stay in line so that we can get up with these guys. But that's
Hartley
not what's happening.
The pass. With the draft so powerful on this track, there is just no defense on the Kimmel Straight against anyone trying to pass you. The best thing you can do and should do is allow them to pass and fall in behind and make your move at another place on the track. Kimmel Straight, you've seen guys going defensive on Kimmel Straight. Guys, if you can hear me, don't do it. It's no point.
1.8 seconds now. The gap from Cy Andra, the fifth, running in 5th, back to Robert Hartley in 6th. Hartley's going to have to work hard to get back up there. But like Richard said, the toe is so big here. I'm not a podiatrist, but I play one on these streaming events, and let me tell you, it is a big toe here at Spa, and I think he's going to be able to get up there.
Andra going wide there in the 5th place. He manages to pull it back into line, and we're hearing it ratchets off track as well. Bill, we might have to go to replay there.
I think just a self-spin from Ratchet. He was following behind David Hampson, running in 11th position. The car got loose. He turned it around. He didn't hit anything, but he did lose a ton of positions. By the time he did his wide turn, looped that car around, he cycled out. Boy, he had to wait for the whole field to come around. That's a tough break for Ratchy. Ratchy, of course, had a chance to be one of the only, there was only one driver who had ever had a perfect season racing, getting every lap in. Of course, that is the Slovene machine. Ratchy had a shot at it last time, but had problems back at Spa in season 12 in the grand finale. Didn't work out so well for him. Right now, running in 30th position.
And Bill, you can see the change up the front again. John Deuce Allen now making a challenge there on our leader, Sergio Mura in 3rd place. Sonny Canchin, Aeronom just watching from behind these guys. Aeronom, I think, is in what we call the popcorn position, just watching to see what is going on at the moment. And that train still very long, ending on, I think that's, ending on Jason Cooper and Ashley Beard. So Ashley Beard is the caboose in that train at the moment, Bill.
If you have some money to invest in popcorn, because there are a lot of drivers sitting back there watching the show that's happening in front of them right now. Right now, it is Sergio Mora. You know, we had an abbreviated pre-race show, so we didn't have time to talk about what was going to happen today. Let's just say that these are open setups, and they are going to be forced because of limited fuel to make a pit stop. If you're new to the MWT, you know you'll need to know that. If you're a veteran, certainly you know what's going on. As we ride on board right now with Errol Num looking ahead at the cars in front of him.
And also bear in mind that the iRacing brought out a brand new build. There were significant changes to the tire model. The MX-5 was affected by those changes, as we see the challenge up front there going almost 3 wide into Lake Coombe once again. But these guys know what they're doing. I'm not concerned. They know exactly what they're doing there. They will get through there safely.
So let's give a shout out to the Buckeye Bullet. Deuce Allen is your new leader.
Syandra now being challenged there by Hartley into reverse. They go almost too wide. Hartley backs out of the challenge there. Syandra stays in 5th place. Hartley in 6th place. Hartley wants to get by Syandra so he can, because they're falling off from the front train. The 4 cars in the front train. Then you got these 2 here. And then you've got another little way back to Flisco, Patrick Fliss. So they're starting to break up a bit there, Bill.
I think relatively close enough, though, that they can tuck back in. You know, the battling with Deuce Allen and catching up there for the lead in 4th. The gap now from 4th back to 5th position, which is Syandra, is only about 0.8 of a second. Close enough. If they can keep that distance till they get to the straight, they'll be able to suck them up. And then it's not that far back. Patrick Fliss running in 7th, bringing along Cooper and Beard. Now, let's give Cooper a shout out. He was running in 9th. He's worked his way up 1 spot. He's a newcomer. We have to keep an eye on this guy. Richard, you never know when we see a name we haven't seen before what kind of cards he's going to play.
And I had a bit of a look at Jason Cooper. He's a relative newcomer to iRacing even. He hasn't done that many races, but he's certainly got a lot of wins already in the short time that he's been on. And look at him now, just behind Patrick Flitster. He's racing very, very sensibly, is Jason Cooper. No rash moves from him as they start to catch up with the other guys going through the bus stop.
All right.
And there is our first pit stopper. That is, of course, the early
Sergio Mora.
Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's Sergio Mora. He's been doing this of late, being the first car to pull in. Now, remember, he was the second fastest qualifier. He might be thinking, I come in right now, get my stop done. I can run faster by myself than these guys who are battling. The problem with this, Richard, as you well know, is that he's going to come out probably with a lot of traffic.
That is correct. And also, one of the things to bear in mind is that the endurance pits is so long. It takes you forever to get into your pit stall on this track, Bill.
Well, you know, he might...
You got the... Yeah, go ahead.
He might have taken that into consideration when he decided to pull in, because his pit stop is going to be so long that maybe he's thinking all the traffic will go by the time I get this done, and I'll have some clean laps to run. Meanwhile, it looks like we have a pass for the lead up front, and we do. Sonny Ketchen has decided he wants to lead a little bit. Deuce Allen going to fall back into second.
Yeah, these guys have been changing the lead just about every single lap as they go up the Kemmel Straight into Lake Coombe, which is the right-hander there. And they're all nose to tail, ending at the moment. In fact, that train is getting longer. Everybody's caught up again, Bill. This is fantastic.
All right.
Out comes Sergio Mora. So he was, let's see, how long was he in the... He was in there for 13 seconds in his pit stall. So that's the benchmark, about 13 seconds for these guys. Now, you're quite right, Bill. He's by himself now. He can just concentrate on putting in some good laps. The others still have to do their pit stops.
Yeah, he filed out in 27th position. He's actually 7 seconds behind Svensson running in 26th position, so I don't think he has to worry much about traffic. A little bit to negotiate, but no big swarms of cars to get around. Now I wonder, Richard, if the guys up front, have you been paying attention? Did you notice that Sergio Mora has come in, what my dad used to call, we say at every race, the early peel, late reveal. Peels off early, you forget about him, and what do you find later? What's revealed? Well, you find that he's in the front when everybody makes their stop.
That is correct. We know all about this. We've spoken about it many times. And I'm just looking at this top group here now. Ashley Beard just fallen off a little bit, but the draft should pull him in as the concertina effect takes place when they get to the bus stop, which they're approaching right now. Our leader, of course, Sonny Ketchen. Second is John Deuce Allen. Aeronom now moved up from 4th place to 3rd place, of course, with the absence of Sergio Mora. So the concertina, nobody goes into the pits there. So they're all still looking at the leader to see when will he blink and go into the pits. I think that's the plan.
Other big names who have pitted along with Mora: David Hampson, Eric Garcia, and Carlos Escalazada. Rafael Drazik also coming in.
Yeah, and Yasuta Saraiva is the right name. We're just going to call him Shiraiwa, or maybe Yasuda. He's in the pits as well now.
Shooter.
The shooter. Oh, Giuseppe, off track. There was a big incident there. Giuseppe and somebody. Let's have a look at that.
There, we're looking. There's
Nah,
Iannucci
it's all
now.
good again. It's all
Look
good.
what Iannucci has done. Worked his way up into 9th position. He's got through all of those guys. And here's, we talked about it before. These guys at the back. Great run from Iannucci and Mika Eshouse running back there in 10th spot.
Yeah, they're trying to help each other to get to the to the group. But bear in mind, these guys have come from virtually last places, and they still about, they're about 10 seconds off the front pack there. So they got their work cut out. But they're doing a fantastic job.
33rd and 35th in qualifying. They did not put in a clean time. They have just decided to work their way through as a team. Nice job. A pair of hard chargers.
I've seen the last race as well. Giuseppe started from the rear of the field, so I think he's got an issue with making the race on time, and so he just barely gets in there before the race starts, and has to start from the back every time. And Mika Eshouse may have just made a last-minute decision to join the race, but these are two of the best drivers. We would normally see them right up the front.
You look at the third car in line. That's another newcomer. And boy, there are lots of rookies this season. Jeroen Urson really making it tough to keep track of all the new blood coming in. Ricardo
Somebody
Margarita.
off track. That was John Allen off the track there. Just went back to the front. Saw John Allen sliding in the grass. But I think he's got it back. Andra passed him. Now we have Sonny Canton in second place. A little breakaway there from Aeronom. So something happened there. Let's go back and have a look.
We're looking at the replay right now to see if we can find out what happened.
John
up
Allen
front.
was in the lead.
The car just got loose. Look at him doing that great job. Look at him save. My gosh.
Oh, what
And
a
it-
save.
And it cost him nothing unless he got a slowdown penalty, which I don't think he did. He's going to cut right back in line.
That would just be an off track. Andra did pass him, though. He went from first, and I think he's in fourth place at the moment. No, he is.
All right.
John Juice Allen in
The
sixth
Roland
place.
Estonian coming in. So is Fliss and Robert Hartley.
Yes, indeed. Three of the top guys, the top pack going into the pits. The rest of them stay out there. Sonny Canton, we know that he kind of likes the late stops, Sonny. And I think Andra's been, he's got him tagged. He says, whatever you do, I'm going to do. John Allen stays out there as well. Jason Cooper now moves into fourth place and Ashley Beard into fifth place. Of course, these guys still have to make their pit stop. Giuseppe Iannucci now gets into sixth place. So these guys, even though they're far behind, if they can race hard, they have a chance of catching up through the pit stops, Bill, I think.
Okay, now what we like to do here at GSRC is go ahead and pick up the leader of the cars who have pitted. And right now, that's Sergio Mora, currently running in 27th position, I believe. 25th position. He's working his way through the bus stop. Now, that's pit entrance. If you're new to Spa, you might be saying, oh, no, they're going to certainly jump. But it's so far around to pit X's. Let's go and see how the rest of the guys are doing. Num is still in his booth.
Yes. Here comes Sergio Mora into La Source right now. La Source is basically turn number one. Now he starts to head down the straightaway going towards Eau Rouge.
Num is rolling.
And where are the other guys? Have they exited yet?
Num has just come out. Let's see where Mora is.
Mora's coming towards Eau Rouge, just taking Eau Rouge right now.
Mora has a full head of steam. He's going to get by Fliss. Is he going to have enough to get by Hartley? I say yes. Is he going to have enough to get to Num? I say no.
You say correctly. It's like you say potato, I say potato. That's okay. Now,
look at Richard. Look at the interview. Look at the interval between Num. He has 2.6 seconds on Mora, who has 2 seconds on Hartley. They've spread themselves out.
Yeah, that is correct. So let's see. Of course, they're not leading in any way, shape, or form. Sonny Canton and Andra are up there, but the gap between between Sergio Mora and Aeronum, let's try and get that gap. It's 2.4 seconds. So that is a decent gap. He's got some draft there, does Sergio, and I think with a bit of luck, well, not with a bit of luck, with a bit of concentration, he should be able to catch up to Aeronum.
Remember, Mora qualified second. His qualifying time was 2 minutes 48.1. A little faster than Num.
Yeah, and Mora, I've been watching Mora through the week, having some races with the new build. We never spoke too much about that. Okay, let's go and have a look at Cooper and Beard coming in. Oh, they're coming into the pits
They
now.
have peeled off, so now the lead train is down to 3 cars, Kanchan, Andra, and Deuce Allen. So again, we will do the same thing we did before. We'll pick up Errol Num and see how he does. S-House also in, Margarita also coming in.
Yeah, and bear in mind, this is a laps race, so they've got 7 laps to go in this race. Of course, all eyes now move to the front pack there with Sonny Kanchan leading. Cy Andra now moving into second place. He's only 1 second behind Sonny. Then you got John Deuce Allen, who's recovered from his dramas. He's another second back from Cy Andra. In fact, no, he's right on Cy Andra at the moment. They're battling there for second place. Well, let's go to that.
Errol Num has had to make a second pit stop. He's come in. Did he short fill? Did he get a penalty? We don't know, but he's had maybe a speeding penalty. He has a drive. That's going to pretty much take him out of contention because, like Richard said, the pit lane is so long. So that'll put the focus now on Sergio Mora, who's just going through La Source. We'll have to see if we can pick up some of those guys who are pitted in front of him.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in the pits at the moment, including Mika S-House, Ashley Beard, Jason Cooper, who were in the lead pack, Ricardo Margarita.
Beard is rolling, but he's not going to be. He's still in the pits, and there goes Mora. See you later.
Oh, great run from Sergio Mora, up to 7th place already. And it looks like we have to keep an eye on Mora versus Kanchan and Allen now, because and Cy Andra, of course, as well. Now the gap between Giuseppe just before you go there is now widened to 13 seconds to the leader, so he's got his work cut out.
Okay, Ashley Beard files out 4th of all the cars who have pitted. He files out behind Mora, Hartley, and Fliss. So Ashley Beard now 4th of the cars who pitted. Shout out to Jason Cooper. He's behind them 5th as well. Mika S-House running right now in 7th position overall. He is about 6th or 7th of the cars who have pitted. But again, like Richard said, the attention now goes back to our leader, Kanchan, Andra, and Allen. When will they come in?
That is correct. They are the 3 that we are watching. There are a few others that haven't pitted, but they are not right up in the front. So the big news is Sergio Mora. That could pay off for him. The other thing is Patrick Fliss spent 16 seconds compared to the 13 seconds of Mora and Hartley. So he's lost 3 seconds right there. So at the moment, Ashley Beard is following Fliss.
Okay, now, all 3 have come in. Let's talk big picture as far as it relates to the Roland Estonian Errol Num.
Mora.
You know, he's had a bad pit stop, so Num has been put way back. Now, usually in most series, you would say, no problem, they have drop races, he will get this one out of here. But not in the MWT. Everything you do counts here, so he will not be able to drop this one, and it'll hurt his average. Any mistake you make on the track counts in the MX-5 World Tour. Errol Num, a costly mistake. Right now, Kanchan, Allen, and Andra all in as they work their way around the fast food ordering booth.
And watching Mora at the moment, he's coming through Blanchimont, heading towards the bus stop at the moment. Keep an eye on our leader, Sonny Kanchan, and of course Jules Allen as well, Cy Andra. Here comes Mora into the bus stop now, the right-hander, now the left-hander. Is anybody moving in the pits at the moment? Here comes Mora heading towards La Source.
They are moving in the pits, but unfortunately, they're still moving towards their box. Kanchan comes in and makes a stop. Dear. Mora now getting to La Source.
Mora is going to do this, I think.
I would think so. He has turned around La Source now. Kanchan still in the box.
Kanchan's revving high. Now he moves. He's right near to the entry of the pits, or the exit of the pits. So he's on the approach. He'll have the opportunity to get on.
Gets Andra.
Get onto the camel straight in first place momentarily. Where is Mora?
Mora gets Allen. Mora's going to follow out in second position. He's got a full head of steam. He is about 0.8 of a second behind the leader, Sonny Kanchan. Here's how, and after it all sorts out, ladies and gentlemen, Sonny Kanchan is your leader by 0.2 of a second. It's not done. Look at that little Mazda engine. Had a long time to get wound up on Kanchan, and the Portuguese driver has pulled right behind the Australian driver. The bossy Aussie being chased by Sergio Mora right now.
And John Allen in third place. He's right in it as well. Fourth place, Robert Hartley. And these are the top four. Then we've got Cy Andrews lost out a little bit there. And then Ashley Beard much further back there. So the gap now to Ashley is 7 seconds from the lead. So that's your top 6 drivers. And then Patrick Fliss, who we want to keep an eye on. He's our current championship leader. Patrick Fliss he's got Ashley Beard to be able to draft with to try and catch up to the leaders. But Patrick Fliss is 7.5 seconds from our leader, Sonny Kanchan. I think at the moment the battle is Sonny Kanchan, Sergio Mora, and of course John Deuce Allen right in there as well. That's your top 3.
It was once a 9-car train. It is now basically a 3-car train with Robert Hartley trying to make it a 4-car train. We've lost Errol Nunn, the Roland Estonian, because of a pit stop infraction. Cy Andrew running in 5th, all by himself right now. Beard and Fliss in a battle for 6th position. Jason Cooper, he was the caboose. He is now running in 8th. That's where he's been running the whole time. But let's go back to 9th position. Great battle. David Hampson back here. We've been watching these guys. Look at this. Mika Eshouse and Giuseppe Iannucci. What a great run from Eshouse and Iannucci, Richard.
Fantastic run. Absolutely fantastic. Giuseppe Iannucci on this track equals the fastest driver that I've ever seen at Spa. He's terrific, Giuseppe, at Spa. So I'm not surprised to see that he is where he is, but I just wish he had started
Let's stay with this battle as they head down into the bus stop now. On the outside, that's Hampson. S-House with the preferred position
there from Ashley Beard, which gives Patrick Fliss an opportunity as they cross the line. 4 laps to go at the moment.
S-House said, I had some issues with the pedals. Apparently, he thinks he may have brake checked Hampson. Hampson gave S-House a little love tap thanks to that. So S-House moves up into 8th position right now.
Let's go back to the front. There's a big battle going on between these 3. There's a change of position there between Mora and John Allen. That is just, with the draft probably going through Blanchimont, they changed. Now you can see there Sonny Kanchan is defensive. Even with being defensive, it's so hard to defend up the Kimmel Straight here. No, don't worry about it, Bill. I can see that Sergio Mora knows what he's doing.
Mora scared me there. You had Kanchan taking the defensive line. You had Allen on the outside, and Mora said, "Well, maybe I could be the peanut butter in the sandwich," but he thought better of it.
Hartley's right there, and he's as well. Mm-hmm.
And here comes Mora taking a peek on Allen. Richard, I think that maybe my gut feeling is that Kanchan is the fastest driver through the technical sections, but there's just not enough technical sections for him to pull away. It's really going to be a matter of where you make the pass.
You watched the last lap. Now, you remember what Amjad Yaman did last season on the last lap to win that race, right? That is Sonny Kanchan has practiced that move, my friend. He's practiced it. What you do is you come out of the bus stop, you go wide, your foot is flat to the floor, and nobody can catch you.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle into the bus stop, but viewers, don't turn away when they get to the bus stop, because it's the battle coming out of the bus stop to that start-finish line. And remember, we talked about that. If you watch at the beginning, they start on the other side of La Source. They do not want to start a race with 30 cars and a hairpin right in front of it. So they start the race on the other side of the hairpin, but the start-finish line is between the bus stop and the hairpin. In fact, why don't we stay with the leaders right now, and you will give you an idea before we do our back marker review that we got to get in. Let's go ahead and follow them around. And Richard, you can talk about what we may see on the last lap.
Yes, indeed. So at the moment, we have our leader, Sonny Kanchan. He is well aware of what is going on behind him. They're coming to the bus stop right now. GSRC on the back of his car, number 59. This is Sonny Kanchan. He makes his car very wide, goes down the middle of the track. That's quite legal. Now he comes out. You see how he just comes out there? On the last lap, he'll come out much wider than that to maintain speed, because it's all about that run to the line. He's just crossed the start-finish line, so it's that is where the race finishes, just where they passed before.
Now, I'm going to get confirmation from our director on this, because I always have trouble where the start-finish line is here. Joe Peak, there's two like checkered lines right there. Is it the first one that they get to, or is it the one it's the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
There's one at the end of the grids that you saw, so it's a real quick run out of the bus stop. Let's go ahead, Richard.
Hey.
Watch the front. I think it's going to be.
Here's the challenge.
Oh,
Here's
let's stay
the
with it. We
challenge
can't
from
do our.
Alan. Here's the challenge from Alan, and of course Mora in it as well. Mora's gonna sail past them on the outside there.
Oh no!
3 wide. Don't worry, and well, let's just
Starting to worry. Mora is the
3
clown.
wide.
Kanchan
Back
is the
out.
joker.
Somebody back out, please. And it is Kanchan who doesn't back out. Mora doesn't back out. They go side by side into Lake Coombe. Kanchan's got the inside for the next part. Now they go down to reverse. Mora's still in it. Mora pushing hard. Here comes Alan as well. Sonny Kanchan on the inside. Sonny breaks and does the wise thing. Breaks a little bit earlier so that he can. Oh, they touch. And that's not good, but it is racing at the moment. They're trying to battle for position. That was the second position. Nobody wants to allow anybody else to get a jump. And of course, you can see that Sergio Mora's got a small jump. Here is the battle between Sonny Kanchan and John Allen going together down into Puhon. Now they'll head down towards the right-hander there. I forget the name of that particular corner.
Number 12,
and,
right-hander, yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's corner number 12. Then they go into Vanges here. Now, the guy who's happy saying, go at it, boys, right now, Richard, is Sergio Mora. He's happy to see the fighting going on behind him. He's got a little bit of a gap now.
Yes, and of course, behind him, we have John Deuce Allen, who will not give up, and Sonny Kanchan. They just need to work together just for this lap to try and catch up to Mora, which they should be able to do when they get to the Camel Straight once again. They're on another fast section of the course now, Bill, which indeed is the Blanchimont course, and you can see that John Allen is now deciding, hang on, I'll just wait a little bit, wait until Sonny catches up to Sergio Mora, otherwise we might not be there. The laps are running down. They've got 4 laps to go. When they cross the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. So they need to work together to catch up, which they are doing. Here comes Sonny Kanchan. Guys, we're going to be following these 3 pretty much to the end of the race at the moment. So apologies to the other drivers. We'll try and show them where we can.
Especially apologies to one of our great sponsors, Eagle Nest Tavern, who have the Eagle Nest Tavern back marker salute. They're kind enough right now to say, let's not cover the back markers, let's stay focused on the leaders up front. So we like to thank them for their consideration as we cover the battle right now, because sure enough, Sergio Mora has been run down by Ketchen and Allen, and still in the hunt is Robert Hartley. 3 seconds back to the guys who are still not out of it, Cy Ander, Beard, and Fliss running back there 5th, 6th, and 7th. If they continue the battle up front, those guys could get in the mix as well. Right now, here it comes, Richard, taking the defensive line. That is the Portuguese driver in that kind of teal-colored car, making a move on the outside is Sonny Ketchen. And again, maybe thinking if he can squeeze his way in there is the Buckeye Bullet. Deuce Allen says, I'm not going to squeeze, I'm going to help. As he pushes the Australian driver into the lead, but is not going to be able to give him that spot.
And Kanchan will go into Lake Coombe in the lead position, followed by John Allen. Sergio Mora he was under attack there. What can you do up the Camel Straight? Nothing. You have to give up the position. John Allen now in 2nd place. Sergio Mora relegated to 3rd place, and Robert Hartley caught right up to this pack. He is in 4th place. So the train is not 3 cars anymore, it is 4 cars. Robert Hartley, he is also a very fast guy at this particular track. We've seen him take pole positions in many a race, and also be very, very fast throughout the race. As we see John Allen going wide, and meanwhile Sergio Mora made a tiny mistake, and Robert Hartley is on him and fighting for the 3rd position. Now they're going together into Vanges, and I think Robert Hartley's got that one.
We can Tron Tran. We just report that Tron Tran has left the building as he's had an incident. But you know, his teammate in the Absolute Beginner League is Bastian Hausman, and Hausman may actually play a factor in this race right now as he has lapped traffic ahead of these guys. I think they're going to run him down in time. Meanwhile, Kanchan out in front, Allen, Hartley, and Mora now in 4th position.
Yeah, and here comes Hartley on John Allen. He's not going to attempt to challenge him into Blanchimont. That's a very, very wise. These guys know what they're doing, Bill. I don't have to even say it. They know exactly what they're doing.
If Hartley were to go side by side with the Buckeye Bullet, they would slow each other down. What they did was stay in line, push each other up there, and now as they come into the bus stop, this is with 3 laps. It'll be 2 laps to go after they negotiate
back
through here.
Marker in front of them as well.
And here is the start-finish line right there.
There, that's it. There, they just crossed it then.
Not that one. And yes, and they are coming up on the back marker we talk about. That's Bastian Hausman. I think he's an experienced driver. He'll know to get out of the way.
Yes, he is experienced. We've seen him in the Skip Barber car, where he's very, very useful indeed. Now they're going down towards Eau Rouge. This is the second last lap. When they come around this next time, it'll be a last lap. So let's see what will happen now. Sonny Canton has got a small... No, he's got no gap. I thought he had a small gap there to John Allen. John Allen was right on him. There's no defense against that. John Allen will move into first place. This is perhaps exactly what Sonny Canton wants. You do not want to be leading.
And here comes Mora trying to make a move on the inside. Hartley pulls over, and it was Canton who pulls over, says, no, I do not want to be 3 wide, going into Lacombe's, and they get that sorted out. Right now, up in front is Allen.
Hausman, meanwhile, has a big accident in front of them, goes into the wall in the approach to Lake Combs, so he could have been a factor in this and caused some problems here. By the way, there was a big tap between Sonny Canton and Sergio Mura. Gave a big love tap to Sonny Canton from the behind there, so he then lost the position. John Allen has it at the moment. Sonny Canton in second place. Robert Hartley looking to take that second place from Sonny Canton. Sonny Canton going defensive there. Robert Hartley now going to the outside. Sergio Mura coming as well. So it's still all happening right here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, Bill.
Yeah, just to review, Canton had that inside line. He was running about in second position. Mora was thinking of coming around the inside. Canton said, nope, I do not want to be put in that position. He put a stop to that. Mora sitting back there in fourth position. Now going a little bit wide through the apexes is Deuce Allen,
Big bubble, in fact, there from John Allen. He almost gave up the position to Canton. I think that Canton is loving the idea of being in second place as they go up Kemmel Straight next time by. So they're coming up to the last lap, Bill, and we shall see if they get the white flag at this point. They should.
They're going to get 2 bites of the apple. That is the bus stop. We're going to see what's happening.
Oh, here comes Hartley. Hartley decides he wants to go into second place. He doesn't want to leave it to have to battle from third place. Allen still got it. You can see there goes there goes Sonny Canton. He went wide, but he pulled it back in line. Sergio Mura was coming. Sergio Mura now battling with Robert Hartley, and they're going side by side through the bus stop there. That leaves there. You saw John Allen using the wide line, Sonny Canton using the wide line as well. That's first and second. They are the ones that are going to battle for the first place. Can third and fourth, which is Robert Hartley and Sergio Mura, can they catch up to the 2 in front? I wonder. Why they go once again coming out of that? Everybody fighting for first position at the moment. It is, of course, John Allen going defensive. They're coming up to Eau Rouge. Are they going to go too wide through Eau Rouge? No. Canton makes the pass before they get into Eau Rouge. Here comes Hartley as they go now through Redalon up the Kemmel Straight for the very last time. The white flag is out. Here comes Sergio Mura on the outside. He's going to have the run. There's a big push there from Robert Hartley onto Sonny Canton. But Sergio Mura, it is Bill who has the lead at the moment.
They work into Lacombe's. Mora out in front. Now that's Allen trying to hang on the outside, looking to the inside. Sonny Canton, they bang a little bit. They bang towards. Canton is going to lose momentum. That's going to give third position to Hartley. Hartley now trying to see if he has anything for the Buckeye Bullet, who runs ahead of him. Meanwhile, all this fighting has left the guy from Portugal, Sergio Mora, get away. But I think there's too much track left between him and the start-finish line for him to think he has it wrapped up right now. Mora out in front as they work their way in. Could be going into 10 here in a minute. They work through 9. It is Mora out in front comfortably. Allen goes very wide into the grass. Hartley right behind him. Sonny Canton cannot be happy right now as he's been relegated back to 4th position. That probably wasn't the way he had this thing planned out, but there's plenty of time to go, Rich.
Yes, they've got Blanchimont, which is going to be the big run. And Sonny Cancher will try and figure out what he can do there. He's in 4th place. I had a quick look at 5th place. Cy Andre is about 3 or 4 seconds away from this group, so he's not in it. These 4 are definitely in it at the moment. We have Sergio Mura making a bit of a run away here. He's being chased by John Allen. John Allen will be able to catch him. This is the last time they go through the turns heading towards Blanchimont and the bus stop. Here comes John Allen. Here comes Sergio Mura. Here comes Robert Hartley and Sonny Canton. Sonny Canton's a little far back. There's defense there, defensive driving from Sergio Mura. He's looking as if he's got it. Robert Hartley and John Allen for 2nd place. Bill, I'll give it back to you.
Here they come. They're gobbling up. Mura takes the defensive line into the bus stop, making the move on the outside. That is Allen trying to find a way around as Hartley. He needs those guys to get together to slow down. Hartley looks like he's too far back. Up front, it's side by side. Here comes Canton with a great run through the bus stop, but in the preferred position with the run, it's Allen. But making the move is Mura, and I think Mura's going to get the win.
Mura may have got it. Mura may well have got that win. I think he has.
Mura, Allen, Canton, and Hartley is the way they finish. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it looks like Cy Andre will finish up in 5th place. So that was a fantastic finish.
Let's go back to 7th position right now as Hampson gets around. Going to get 7th. It looks like S House is going to get the best of Iannucci as those guys finish 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Wow, everybody's streaming through now to finish the race. As we see, we're down to about 16th place already. Everybody finishing at the moment. There comes another little group.
Let's pick up Koeneman in about, this is 23rd position. John Koeneman being chased by Robert Vellinga as they work down into the bus stop. Now they have the slower car in front of them. That's Tom Ratchie, who is damaged. I don't know if Ratchie's going to have enough. I think he's going to get there, probably get 21st position. Koeneman in a fight. And Robert Vellinga is going to finish in 22nd. Koeneman's going to get the best there. 22nd for Koeneman. Vellinga gets 23rd.
Yes, and these guys have all starting to all got to the end of the race. They can be very happy. This was a really tough race. But with Sonny Canton finishing 3rd, John Allen having a poor performances with Sergio Mura as well. In previous races, we might well see Sonny Canton back in the number 1 position.
Give a shout out quickly to Jason Cooper in 26th position. Oh, he just exited. He comes, of course, across the line. The 3rd car on the lead lap. Ashley Beard and Adreo de Brito round out the 28 cars on the lead lap. This is the Global Sim Racing channel. We're going to go to break, but we'll be back shortly to run down the entire field, do driver interviews, close-up shop. Back in a few.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Heusinkveld MX-5 World Tour, brought to you here by the Global Sim Racing Channel. And before we do a rundown of the finishing order, I got to give a shout out to the directors Joe Peak and Amjad Yaman, who were fighting gremlins. Nothing that was our responsibility. There was some trouble with some of the software that we used to get the show to stream outside of our control, but they managed to click their heels and spin around 3 times and say the magic word, and we got on the air, a little abbreviated pre-race show, but we brought you all the action, and that's the important part, so nice job to them. Now, here's some guys who had a nice job on the track. How about Sergio Mori? Made that early pit stop, going to bring it home in first. What a great battle to the end. Spa never fails, as there's the bus stop and then the drive to the start-finish line. A great layout to end a race. John Deuce Allen, the Buckeye Bullet, going to finish in second position. Sonny Kanchan, I think, could be your points leader, even though at third position, the guys he was in battling with all had issues. He might be on the top of the overlay next time around. Robert Hartley and Cy Andrew round out your top 5. Patrick Fliss, who is your point leader coming into the race, but only by 1 point, finishes in 6th and really wasn't a factor for much of the day. David Hampson going to be in 7th position. How about a great run from these two guys, Mika Eshouse and Giuseppe Iannucci? They were together the whole race. Eshouse started in 35th position, up into 8th, the hard charger, not far behind Iannucci, 33rd to 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Ricardo Margarita. Richard?
Yeah, well done for Ricardo, a newcomer to the series here. Now, in 11th place, we had Jonatas Marcon. He's a newcomer as well. Eric Garcia finished in 12th place. Carlos Calasaro, involved in early problems, finished in 13th place. Joop Willemsen finished in 14th place. Rafael Drazik finished in 15th place. Carlos Torres in 16th. Yasuta Siraiva finished in 17th place. 18th place went to Kieran Mant. 19th place went to Aero Num, and he had to pit twice due to a penalty problem. And then, of course, 20th place went to Eric Kuman.
Hidden Blackjack was Tom Ratchey. He certainly was punted around a few times, had some issues. He can take solace in knowing that he did finish on the lead lap. A friend of Tom from way back, John Kuhneman, we're going to get an interview from him one of these days. We couldn't get it last race, and then this race we had to cut our pre-race short, so we didn't get him. We're going to stay tuned. If you're friends and family, John Kuhneman, we'll get him in next time. He finishes in the double do spot. Robert Wellinga in 23rd position. Joe McDonald, double dozen spot. Mark King, quarter century mark. Here's the guy, Jason Cooper, was running the caboose of the lead train for so long, had some issues, going to finish way back in 26th position. Nevertheless, a good debut into the series. 27th to 28th and 29th, Ashley Beard, Amade Dubritu, who had to start from pit lane, and Jeroen Ursum, our series manager, running in 29th position. Tuan Tran rounding out the top 30. Richard?
Yep, then in 31st place we had Thiago Almeida. Then 32nd, Bastian Heisman. Jordi Fike finished in 33rd place. Frederick Svensson in 34th place. Michel van Dijk, no luck for him, finished in 35th place. Brian Holmes finished in 36th place. And last place there, Travis Swenke, who did not start the race.
Okay, we're going to have a chance here to talk to our second place finisher here today. He had a taste of the lead several times, but wasn't able to fend off all the challengers, and of course that is the Buckeye Bullet, John Deuce Allen. John, congratulations, you had a good run.
Yes, indeed. That was quite a battle from stem to stern. That was a lot of fun.
You had one save that needs to be clipped and put into the season recap. My goodness, there was one where I thought you were going to put it in the wall. You managed to not only save it, but not lose many positions.
Yeah, well, that's something that, in all fairness, probably is more to upgraded equipment than skill. I'm not any better than I was a couple seasons ago, but I've got used to a little bit better equipment and was able to save that, thank goodness. So would have been a very different result.
All right, let's take us to the very end. I personally love Spa because it's double drama at the end. You have to position yourself for the bus stop, but then there's enough time to still make a challenge coming out of the bus stop. What were you thinking about coming down into those final corners?
I actually like being on the outside entering the chicane. It's an unusual preference, but I like having control. You can't be undercut there. Although Sonny was close enough, he could have, which is why I had to stay so low on the final left-hander and lost my momentum and gave the win away. But I knew if I went wide enough and left the car width, he would take it. So second better than third, but boy, first was so close.
It was. Well, it was a great run. You put on a good show for all the viewers. We appreciate that. You brought the car to the checker flag. That's the big thing. So congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be back. Part-time though it is, I forgot how much fun it was. So this is a classic. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John. John Deuce Allen, your second place finisher today. Richard, who would you like to talk to?
Well, we're going to do things a little differently today. I will talk to Syandra, and we'll bring him into the booth, and then you can talk to Sonny, because those are the only two that are left. So we've got Syandra in the booth with us at the moment. Sy, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Syandra, very impressive 5th place there. You know that the guys up in front of you, Sergio Moura, John Allen, Sonny Canton, Robert Hartley, and those guys, all very, very fast. Patrick Fliss as well. You held your own with those guys for most of the race, and congratulations. That was a hard-fought 5th place for you.
It was definitely a hard-fought 5th place, but before I say anything more, I want to apologize to Flisco for some damage that he got because of me, but other than that, yeah, it was hard-fought. It was fairly fought, most importantly. So that was probably the best thing about the whole race.
Yes, and tell us where you lost out, because you were right up there. Was it in the pit stops where you because you were a bit slow to come out of the pits, or slightly slower than the guys in front of you?
Yeah, it was definitely the fueling of the car. I took a little bit too much fuel, and the way these things take forever to fuel up, just 0.3 a gallon too much cost me about 4 seconds on the track, and I could never really make that up after I lost the draft.
Yeah, that's true. Also, there is a somewhat of a random factor in the fueling that we found out over time, that you can put in the same amount of fuel as someone else, and it might take a second or two longer. So, it's this is Spa. There's always an opportunity going up Kemmel Straight and through Blanchimont to make up time. You obviously were battling hard to stay in the top 10 in the beginning, but as things turned out, you finished in 5th place. A great finish for you, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I probably had a car for a top 3 podium if I got lucky, but guess the pit stops just didn't work out. Other than that, I'm happy with my result. I'll hopefully improve it the rest of the season.
All right, and that is, of course, good news for us to hear, that you will be around for the rest of the season. That was Syandra we just spoke to, Bill. So he came in 5th place, and he did a fantastic job today.
Okay, I get to talk to who we believe is going to be the points leader after everything is tallied up, and that's going to be Sonny Canton. And he was also the leader coming out of Radion, heading down into Lacombe's. Looked like he was in good position, but before you knew it, Sonny, you found yourself in 4th. Or 4th, yeah.
Yeah, it was all credit to John. He had a slowdown, this slowdown, you kind of strategize that kind of slowdown, and as wasn't too much ready to stay behind him. Lassource and I just passed him, so the guys behind got a run on me, and then I ended up 4th, and it was battle towards the end though. Elbows everywhere and there.
There were some elbowing. You got elbowed. I think Deuce gave you a little elbow, moved you from 3rd to 4th. So then you come around, then you're coming down into the bus stop, and you went to the outside of the bus stop, and it kind of worked for you.
Yes, I went to the outside, and it worked for me. Poor Rob. I hope I didn't shake him up badly, but I just went for it, and I got the podium though. It was great. It was really tough. One of those really tough race. Yep, pretty close at the end. I'm glad I made it home.
Now, let me ask you, because you're doing this on your own, you don't have anybody up on the box. Were you aware that Sergio Moura had left the train and was back there lurking, or that's just too much to keep track of? You just kind of have to race your own race and see how things play out.
No, I didn't notice Sergio, but I always thought he was right behind.
Yeah.
At the lead. Yeah, out of the pits, I had a good pit stop, and then the moment I came out, I noticed Sergio behind me, and then race towards the finish. That's when things started to heat up. 3 laps to go, and elbows everywhere. Being pushed down.
Well, 3 races in, you have 1 victory so far, but we figure you're the point leader. What looks like we're going to have a great season. I think you're going to have to work a little harder season 13 to get that championship, so good luck to you.
That's correct, and great performance by Sergio and John. Good to see them back on the podium. And thanks, Bill. Looking forward to the points. As you said, the instant shot isn't looking good, though, for this race, but we'll see.
It will be. Before I let you go, you got to be careful. The only thing that kept you out of the lead for of this time were the bonus points that you get for those incidents, and qualifying you're good at, though, so keep an eye on those. You don't want to lose a championship based on bonus points.
Yeah, will do. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Sonny Ketchen, your 3rd place finisher today. 2-time champion, and certainly put on a good show. Richard, you got to be happy with the way things went. I'm so glad the GSRC was able to get on the air, get all the action covered from green flag to checkered flag. Pretty good show today.
Oh, absolutely. You always have a great race at Spa. The fact, of course, that Spa is such a draft track. They say, Bill, that these long tracks are not good for the tiny little MX-5. I don't think so. I think the MX-5 is just beautiful on this track.
Yeah, Spa is big, but it's technical as well. I think it puts on a great show as well. Well, let's go ahead and thank some people that make this possible. We'd like to thank everybody at the Quality Racing Syndicate to organize this series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We got to thank our sponsors that kind of got a little bit shortchanged in the opening. One of them is Heusinkveld Engineering. They are an affordable simulator software and hardware. It was thought to be of limited use to race teams and drivers, but their simulation solution brings professional results within reach of any race team or driver without having to compromise on realism or engineering value. They offer a broad array of products and services such as advanced vehicle simulation software and hardware. They are able to simulate any combination of race car and track, including a full-fledged cockpit environment. With unparalleled realism, Heusinkveld Engineering Solutions are currently being used by professional teams and drivers in Formula 4, GP3, GT2, and Formula 1. Now these products are available for any professional team or driver looking for an edge in racing. Be a better race car driver and get in touch today. Another sponsor that we didn't get to talk about, and that is Six Sideways, who sponsor our driver interview. Poor John Kuhneman, again, does not get interviewed. We're going to try it one more time to get him. And, of course, Six Sideways is a full-service motorsports company based in Sebring, Florida, which currently competes in SCCA Pro Racing Battery Tender MX-5 Cup Championship. Six Sideways offers race car builds, preparation, rental, transportation, maintenance, omelet preparation, trackside support, setup services, driver coaching, marketing, media service, race car storage, and more. There's more? That's more. Contact them with your motorsports needs. SixSideways.com. Thanks to the company's equipment, software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. And of course, no GSRC broadcast would be complete without the original music that comes to you thanks to Eric Epholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact them. The Heusinkveld MX-5 World Tour returns next week. Hey, not in 2 weeks. No. In 1 week, March 18th, for round 4, when the tour visits the dunes at Zandvoort. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you tune in. If you'd like to find more about GSRC, such as dates for upcoming races or to schedule a GSRC to broadcast an event of your own, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Woo! And finally, on behalf of my mic mate Richard Losper, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching and being loyal to us. With that said, it's time for us to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.